Good morning and greetings to you in the name of our King Jesus Christ. Friends, this Monday morning I will quickly give you this live updates to analyze a recent development, the ICC ruling against the Prime Minister of Israel and the former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. Netanyahu and Gallant are now in the ICC has ruled out that they shall be arrested by any of the ICC signatory countries. South Africa is a signatory to that country. And what are the implications of this ruling for South Africa, primarily because we live in South Africa, it's our home. And what are the implications for Netanyahu and Israel and Yoav Gallant? We are going to look at it. This is a very recent development, and it is falling perfectly within the parameters of the fulfillment of Bible prophecy in the last days. The Bible clearly indicates that in the last days there will be an increasing anti-Semitic momentum, and this momentum will reach such a level that one day when the Antichrist turns and starts to attack on Israel, he will not have a shortage of people. In fact, armies of the whole world will join him. So these are all a build-up to the days of the Antichrist. The world is preparing itself to the reign of the Antichrist. But let's now get back to the ICC ruling. International Criminal Court in Hague has decided Netanyahu must be arrested and put in the docks together with Yoav Gallant because of the accusation that they have committed crimes against humanity, etc., etc. I'm not going to go into all the details, but we know as a fact that that there are many legal inaccuracies, and also accusations haven't been justified. But now, what does that mean? What does this ruling mean for South Africa? Firstly, let us just talk about the US, because US is the biggest military, biggest diplomatic, and the most powerful economical powerhouse in the whole world, even still to this day. And with the upcoming Trump presidency, US is only flexing its muscles. So the ICC ruling has to be considered within the light of US reaction. So let's just talk briefly about the US reaction to the ICC ruling. What did US say? Well, from on the same day when the ICC ruling was issued, immediately the Biden presidency spokesperson came forth and she said that US government firmly condemns and rejects and distances itself from this ruling. US government will not allow this ruling to be implemented. And she didn't elaborate too much on that. She also said these are baseless accusations against the legitimately elected prime minister of the country of Israel. And she also said that it's a known fact that ICC has employed incorrect legal procedures, inappropriate legal procedures, and that did not follow the correct path of legal procedures to reach this verdict. Now, she left it there, but in the days following, in the US Senate, there were very heated discussions, bipartisan discussions. This is important detail. These are bipartisan discussions, meaning that Democrats and the Republicans are in agreement that ICC rulings should not be allowed to be implemented by any country anywhere in the world, because neither Israel nor the US are signatories to the ICC. Furthermore, both Israel and the US understand that if ICC is given the freedom to make a ruling over a country which is not a signatory to the ICC, this will set a global precedence. And this precedence will have far-reaching negative, very bad implications for all the nations of the world, meaning that anywhere in the world, any government, any person can be actually criminalized and judged by the ICC regardless of them being signatory or not, if this ruling is allowed to pass forward, and if ICC signatories are allowed to do anything in regards to arresting Netanyahu or Yoav Gallant. So the US position is definitely no, no, no. But furthermore, bipartisan reaction from the US side has been that both every person who has taken part in reaching this decision in the circle of ICC, and also all the parties who has brought this case forth and who has supported this case, shall be identified and shall be heavily sanctioned by the US. Now, these are discussions right now in the US Senate. Now, this is where South Africa falls into the picture. Now, we know, the whole world knows, ICC case was started by South Africa, namely by the ANC, the ruling government of South Africa. And from the day South Africa started this case, ICC ruling, from the day South Africa started this ICC case, the US, again, in the US, there was a bipartisan discussion of immediately putting sanctions on South Africa, but they didn't get to that point. Rather, they opened the question of re-evaluating their relationship with South Africa. Now, after this ruling, this discussion is reopened, and it is quite probable that in the days ahead of us, and no later than the beginning of Trump presidency, I believe, but most probably in the days ahead of us, we might hear US reaction to South African government, more specifically to the ANC and the South African ANC cadres who took this case to the ICC and who supported this case to reach this point. They might be identified and sanctioned by the US for their personal involvements in this legal procedure which did not follow the due course. So that is where US falls in. And what does that mean for the ANC? This definitely means the isolation, sanctioning, and the downfall of the ANC. Is this good news for South Africa? Well, I believe so. I believe so. And in the process, does that mean South African businesses will be sanctioned? I don't think so. But South Africa as a country has already been tarnished by the bad choices of the ANC government, and we might continue to experience some of the ripple effects of this in the days to come, in the months to come, from the international community. Will Netanyahu ever get arrested by any country anywhere in the world? I doubt that he will ever be arrested, because in the Middle East, Israel will never allow anyone to touch their prime minister or president or any government official based on this ICC ruling. Israel will take this literally as a matter of national security, even as a matter of declaration of war against their sovereignty. So no one, I doubt that anyone will actually dare to arrest Netanyahu. But also, furthermore, the US reaction to this ICC ruling on the same day the ruling was made set the tone very clear, set the US reaction very clear to the whole world that no one should touch Netanyahu nor Yoav Gallant. If they do so, they will be isolated and sanctioned by the American government as well. So this is a situation where we find ourselves in. Together with this, I want to encourage you to pray for South Africa, South African businesses, South African private enterprises, that they will separate themselves from this political agenda, and pray that God will bless our country in the way forward. And now I have to end this live streaming. I have another appointment, and God bless you, and